Hello guys, this is Webster from My Therapy Garden YouTube channel. We're playing in the dirt, help to take away my hurt. Today we're going to look at some of the early bloomers in the garden. And of course, in spring you can always count on your tulips. Tulips and daffodils, hyacinth, any of your bulbs, or the early blooming bulbs, you can always count on those in the garden. So we have some tulips here. Have that nice orange color. These tulips were planted last year. They came back this year, which I'm very happy for. They're a little bit smaller than they were last year. And from research that I conduct, it says that tulips tend to get smaller with each passing years. And so, you know, the great tulip producers like in Holland and all these great gardens, they plant tulips every year. Or they dig up the bulb, you know, let it dry and then replant it. But for little homeowners like me, you know, this is not a public garden, so I just leave my tulips in the ground and then the bulb will come back. So I should get about 3 years worth of tulips, and then like next year I'll just plant more so we can have more tulips coming up. So these are my tulips coming up. We have some lilies also, Asiatic lilies, which of course is too early for those. The lilies are late spring, early summer bloomers, so we should have some color at the front here for the greater part of the rest of spring to summer. And of course my Japanese maple, Crimson Queen, leafed out, looking real good. Okay, so we'll just walk around and we'll see what we have in the garden. Surprisingly, this is also a Crimson Queen, just like this one here. And you know, plants have a mind of their own. They come when they want to. Some come out early, some come out late, just as people. Some people are early bloomers, some are late. This Crimson Queen just barely leafing out, but she will make it out in time. Over this side, waterfalls leafing out, and this conifer over here, Black Dragon, doing pretty good. In the winter it had that bronze color. I was afraid that it was dying, but that's the way they survive in the winter. They go bronze and kind of stop growing, stop doing anything, and then come spring, you see they change again into that green, and you can see little cone, little brown things at the tip are those little cones that they have. Because remember, conifers are cone-bearing plants. I was about to say pine-bearing plants. Yeah, cone-bearing plants. Okay. All right, here's my rose garden. The roses are coming back. I cut these back in early spring, and we see everybody is leafing out. So on this side again, we have the hybrid tea on this side closest to the house, and then on this side we have David Austin roses on this side. So I want this side to be my rose garden. I'm going to plant more roses on this side. All right, my Japanese maple, Kotonoito, leafing out beautifully, and you can see the little, we can call them blossom. Actually they're bracts, but we can call them blossom for now. Kind of pretty, you know, everybody doing their thing. All right, pass through my trellis here. These are the Japanese maple. This is Bloodgood. Leafing out. This Japanese maple here, I didn't remember the name the last time. It's the Red Dragon. Red Dragon. It's leafing out. You know, some maple leaf out earlier than some, which is okay. And right here is my redbud, my Ruby Falls redbud, and it's a weeping redbud. Yeah, you can see the flowers coming up. Nice pink. It just started. I'm pretty sure once it's in full bloom, we'll get another video of it so you can see this Ruby Falls redbud. These are my phlox, early blooming phlox. I think these are forest phlox. I think something like that. I think it's like forest phlox. My Japanese maple, Verna Jean, barely pushing out, but again, we'll get something. We can see it's coming. It's coming. I lose one Japanese maple, which is my Sentinel Red Thumby, which was right here in the rose garden. It didn't make it. So in this pot I'm gonna put a conifer. I'm gonna put a conifer right here so we can always have some greenery here all year. So I'm thinking Italian cypress. I already buy the Italian cypress, and that's what I'm gonna put right there. Right in the back garden, again, more tulips. When I started this little garden here, I said this is my spring garden, and I put a whole lot of tulips. But after the tulips all die back, then it will be my woodland, not woodland, my butterfly pollinator and butterfly garden. Tulips looking real good in a different color. Just get a mixed bag of tulips, and I planted these last year, and again they all come back. So I think tulips will do good right here. For tulips don't like clay soil, and that's all I have here, heavy clay. So I amend my soil. You know, I use the clay that I dig from there, I mix it with sand, I mix it with soil conditioner, and of course I buy topsoil also. Mix all of that in a equal, well, not equal, it can be equal third, in about a third of each, and then I plant the tulips there, because tulips like good drainage. And what I realize is that for most plants they're telling you that you need to have good drainage. Well, very few of us have good drainage, so what we have to do is amend the soil. So remember, if you're in a clay area, you need to amend the soil, because very few, well, not very few, some plants like clay, and you just have to try and find those plants that will do well in clay. Otherwise, you want other variety of plants, then you have to amend the soil. Okay, so we have hyacinth. These are the Eyesynth Grape hyacinth, and the pink variety right there, real beautiful. And hyacinth smell very good. Every time I come out on the back porch, you know, that fresh scent just hits me. All right, Japanese maple leafing out. These are still in the pot, which I'll be planting out pretty soon. And again, more Japanese maple right here. All right here, I was thinking of putting a fire pit here. That was a plan for a fire pit. But then my better half, my lovely wife, said, you know, we won't sit out here at night because of the bugs and all of that, and that's why we have a screen porch. Why not get like a fountain? So the plan now is to put a fountain right here, so when we're sitting on the back porch, we can look at it and hear that water dripping. So the plan now is to put a fountain right here. And as soon as that's finished, I'll be able to show you guys. On top of the hill, We have a few azaleas. And the Chinese snowball right there. Looking good. Right now it's just coming up, so it's more of that lime green, but when it opens fully, we'll have it nice white balls, kind of like a hydrangea. My cherry tree doesn't have as much flower as I thought it would. Thought there'd be more flower to it. But for me, the important thing is that it's surviving, you know. Hopefully through the years, we'll have more flower on it. My Japanese maple, coral bark, sango kako. Again, my emerald, my crimson queen right here hasn't started leafing out yet. But the smaller Japanese maple right here is leafing out. And this is summer's gold. Summer's gold. Of course, flowering. Let's turn around here so we can see it better. It's a crabapple tree. That purple leaf crabapple with nice pink blossom. Another Japanese maple, German's gyration, leafing out nicely. My dogwood right there, coming back. Something eat the dogwood this in the winter, so I may or may not get any flower on it, but at least it's surviving. The purple plum, leaf out. There isn't as much flower as I thought it would have. My dogwood, another dogwood. This is the pink brack dogwood. And another crabapple with the white flower. Again, another Japanese maple right here. It's a Tamukiyama, just leafing out. Just leafing out. Another Chinese snowball right here. Right here is my sugar maple, which hasn't started yet. Hasn't done anything. It's just looking like stick for now. It's another viburnum. It's a different type of Chinese snowball. It's not as big as the other ones. This is CRU Japanese maple. And I choose a Japanese maple that will do okay in the sun. Of course, no Japanese maple like our southern sun, but so far I have no trees to provide shade for them. So I try to get as hardy as I can, and then we'll figure it out. See who survive and who don't. All right.
Where did you get your pine straw when